Hi. Hi. This is day two of improving my communication skill, and it's last day we do some tongue twister. So today also we do tongue twister. After that, we will complete this book. Next chapter. So start. I'm going to start. Just first tongue twister is red bulb, blue bulb, 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 red bulb, blue. I am mastering this. Now move to next. This one is harder one. Red lorry, yellow lorry, 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 red lorry. Okay, fine. Level two. Red lorry, yellow lorry, red lorry, yellow lorry, red lorry, yellow lorry, red lorry. Red lorry, yellow lorry, 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 red lorry, red lorry, yellow 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 lorry. Okay. Now move to next. Seashells on the shore. 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 Okay. Seashells on the shores. I think seashells seashells on the shores. Seashells on the shore. Seashells sea- seashells on the shores. Seashells on the shores. Witty by some butter, witty by some butter, but the butter was bitter, so witty by some butter, but the butter was bitter, so she bought some better butter to make the bitter butter better. Witty by some butter, but the butter was bitter, so she bought some better butter to make the bitter bitter butter better. Witty by some better butter, witty by some better butter to witty by some butter, witty by some butter, but the butter was bitter, so so she bought some better butter to make bitter butter better. Try this one. Beaty by some butter, but the butter was bitter, so she bought some better butter to make the bitter butter better. Beaty Beaty by some butter, but the butter was bitter, so she bought some better butter to make the bitter butter better. Beaty by some butter, but the butter was bitter. Yes, I have completed my syllabus. In machine learning, I have already completed the syllabus, and in geotech, not. But as we know,
Geotech is not as much easy. We can complete for INSEP. So I am going with three questions and difference between consolidation and compactions and all. Plus tomorrow I will try to complete. This. Hi Pratyush. Suggest me some uh, tips to improve my communication skill. See you very much. Thanks, Alok Saw. Bye. एक मिनट. Beaten by some butter, but the butter was bitter, so bought some better butter to make the bitter butter better. Missionary, yeah, you can say. Actually, in civil engineering, we know कि placement all depend on the communication skill, and in future everywhere we need a good communication. So I am trying to improve communication skill. Then I will improve our technical skill as well. So uh, first with tongue twister. Bitty buy some better. The butter was bitter, so she bought some better butter to make the bitter butter better. Bitty buy some better butter, but the butter was bitter, so she bought some better butter to make the bitter butter better. Bitty buy some butter, but the butter was bitter, so she bought some better butter to make the bitter butter better. It's last. Bitty buy Bitty buy some butter. The butter was bitter, so she bought some better butter to make the bitter butter better. Okay. Now move to the next one. The lips, the tip, the tip of the tongue, the tip of the tongue, the teeth, the lips. This one is easy. The lips, the tip of the tongue, the tip of the tongue, the teeth, the lips. The lips, the teeth, the tip of the tongue, the tip of the tongue, the teeth, the lips. The lips, the teeth, the tip of the tongue, the tip of the tongue, the lips, the teeth. Sorry. The lips, the teeth, the tip of the tongue, the tip of the tongue, the teeth, the lips. The lips, the teeth, the tip of the tongue, the tip of the tongue, the teeth, the lips. Okay. The lips, the teeth, the tip of the tongue, the tip of the tongue, the teeth, the lips, the tip of the tongue, the teeth, the lips. The lips, teeth, tip of the tongue, the tongue, tip of the tongue, the teeth, the lips. The lips, the teeth, the lips, the teeth, the tip of the tongue, the tip of the tongue, the tip of the tongue, the teeth, uh, mistake. Yeah, the tongue, the lips, the teeth, the tip of the tongue, tongue, the tip of the tongue, 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 the tip, the lips. Thanks for correcting me. Harsh. Okay. Mm, nice. Yeah, except the tip of the tongue. The lips, the teeth, the tip of the tongue, the lip, the lips, the teeth, the tip of the tongue, the tip of the tongue, the teeth, the lips. What you said? Repeat. Red bulb, blue bulb, red bulb, blue bulb, red lorry, yellow lorry, red lorry, yellow lorry. Seashells on the seahorse, seashells on the seahorse. Bitty buy some butter, Bitty buy some butter, but the butter was bitter, so she bought some better butter to make the bitter butter better. Bitty buy some butter, but the butter was bitter, so she bought some better butter to make the bitter butter better. The lips, the tip of the tongue, the tip of the tongue, the teeth, the lips. Now I'm going to read books. Today is day 2, so 1 second. Should I? Yeah. Ah, right. This one is day 2, so I'm going to read this book. Life is what you make it by Priti. So you can see here. Nothing's gonna stop us now. How do how do group today I will try to read slowly and pronounce in better way and make throughout the same tone and don't go fast because I realize that I read fast and go with other words just like okay now I will continue. How do groups get formed in college? Some say that you gravitate. Some say that you gravitate instinctively towards people you can relate to and then gradually over the months a bond develops. It was not like that with my class. It felt as though it felt as though a snooker player had hit a single hard streak and we, like the snooker balls, had scattered in all directions. Random balls coming together with no predetermined plan. But of course, in reality, each shot is planned with precision and each strike is made with a purpose. And on deeper contem- contemplation, and on deeper contemplation, you realize that the ball came together for a reason after all. Almost instantly, we had gravitated towards a gang or a group. There were 60 of us, but we had all fallen into our group, with whom we hung out, exchanged notes, and fun. Almost instantly, we had gravitated towards a gang or a group. There were six. There were six. There were. There were. There were. There were. There were 60 of us, but we had all fallen into our group, with whom hang out, exchange notes, and had fun with. Man was a group of four. Apart from me, There was Suvi, Jenny, and Charu. Suvi undoubtedly had the most dynamic personality in the group. She was short, but but she was short, but what she lacked in height, she made up in other areas. She was a smart, a stylish, enthusiastic, enthusiastic. She was smart, stylish, and enthusiastic with an attitude that was contagious. Contagious. Most people warm up. Most people warm up to her. She was bundle of energy, always ready for anything, a little impulsive and reckless too at a time. Charua Tam Brahma was a personification of the generalization that are made about them. She was a studious, a smart, and intelligent. She even wore glass. Her aim was to become an chartered accountant. CA. Jenny was that gentle, sweet, quiet, and the sensible one. Her aim, her ambition was in Jenny was gentle, quiet, and sensible one. Her ambition was either to become a nun or do, do her MSW and take up social work. We came together like a patchwork quilt and got along well despite our very different personalities. But what I did not expect to learn so quickly at college was the great Agnes Ambush, a guy was staring at his cockroach tradition, where we were introduced. There were 60 of us. I say there there were 60 of us, but we had all fallen into our group. Okay, okay. But what I didn't expect to learn so quickly at college was the great Ignace impress a guy by staring at his course tradition. We are introduced, instructed, and inducted into it by our senior when we shared a lecture with them or mercantile law, which was the only subject in the whole college being taught by a male. The raging hormone, the raging hormones pulse the losing of all inhibition that a woman's college does to you was enough for everyone to cooperate on the single point agenda of this tradition. The raging hormones plus the losing of all inhibition that a woman's college does to you was enough for everyone to cooperate on the single point agenda of this tradition. He was named Proki Murky. Proki was a colloquial word in the local language, loosely translating it stood for an OF or good for nothing guy, implying he was a skirt chaser, which was really ironic, as it were the girls who were doing the pretended chase here, not him. The girl mostly started very pointed to Sujawai. Siram, sorry, you take. I will. You share some question with us, so we should go with that three questions and some other questions like compaction and consolidation, and plus 3 or 4 question is enough for passing in second midterm. After that, we will take care of the end sem. Okay, Vijit Kumar. No need to worry. Geotic is not as much hard if you are studied with Abhijit Anand sir. You know what yourself. Not at Siram. I will introduce myself in initially a starting of video. You can rewatch the video. Okay. I have to complete 10 pages today. The girl mostly started very put. pointedly at this crotch throughout the duration of the lecture. He would begin by pretending not to notice, but of course he would notice. There was no way he could not sing something as obvious and outrageous as that, but they couldn't do a thing. The unspoken rule was that in mercantile law class, you were allowed only to look at Marquis crotch. There was a there were about 120 of us women. Mm-hmm. One second, I will share. Yeah, yeah, one second. I can next time. I will pick up it. मन बुला रहा है uh, I will meet with him in the morning at 10 a.m. while going to give the exam. So no need to meet at this time. I think if he will come, then I can't do anything because he is powerful guy. He can take over on me. A powerful man. What were bro? Please tell me. No, no. I mean, there were about 120 of us women, and all staffed of male company, and didn't his looks did not deter us at all. Murky was a middle-aged, short, slightly overweight professor with port belly, and he always uh, he always tucked. Yeah, I know. Uh, just leave it. Always tucked his shirt in. He had a large mop of thick black oily curly head and a mustache shaped like a head of a toilet cleaning brush. His eyes were teeny black slits on his chubby face and the darted quickly in all directions. He, he could have been a bad caricature of a hero of a Malayalam movie. He would begin by explaining some concepts in mercantile law, yeah, unsteadily, and then within 10 minutes, bits of sweat would begin appearing on his forehead. He would he would then take out his spotless white hand handkerchief and mop his brow repeatedly. The girls were relentless. Even when he asked a question, the girl who stood up to answer would still not take her eyes away from his crotch. I would, I really pitied the poor man, but secretly I wonder if he actually enjoyed it too. I doubted if he ever got a female attention outside the gate of the college. My letter to Weber described all this and more. Our letter to each other were getting longer and longer. We become expert in anticipating how much postage would be needed for each letter. As the as the week spent our letter to each other, we were- we are we our no sorry as the week sped, our letter to each other were our constant connection. Our link and the happiness we derived from they kept mm, our link and the happiness we derived from the from them kept both of us going. During the day, in in the middle of some activity I was busily involved in, I kept myself thinking of something he had written, and I found myself smiling. I I catch I call I catch myself making mental notes to tell him about little things that had just occurred. He wrote that it was the same for me. He said he never remembered being so enthusiastic about life before this. He said I gave him an anchor, a purpose, and a meaning of his existence. I told him as was I told him he was a sentimental fool and he should write poetry. Secret, uh, Poetry. Secretly, of course, I loved it. He knew it too. I lacked being adored. Adored. I lacked the feeling of being so important to someone. I lacked being the center of someone's world. A year flew my and I did not even feel its pass. Then, then when my 18th birthday was approaching, he decided that later were just not enough. He said we wanted to talk to me. He said he wanted to talk to me. Getting to talk to Weber on the phone involved putting together a complex combat mission much like US Airborne Division of Paratroops in World War II. There were no mobile phones those days. It required detailed, precise planning, a lot of forethought, and coordination down to the last details. He had once tried the direct approach and call up at a decent hour. My mother had answered the phone. He greeted her and he greeted her, and she had said a curt yes. Sorry, he he greeted her and she had said a curt yes. She did not return the greeting. She said Ankita cannot come to the phone right now and had hung up abruptly. I was in my room and I had heard every word. My ears burned with indignation, and tears of anger were swelling in my eyes. But I did, but I had them well. There was no way I could argue with her. That did not stop us thought. We both agreed that a phone call would be considered successful if we managed to speak to each other for at least 4 minutes. We had outlined three parts for Operation Mission Phone Call. Operation Mission Phone Call. Part 1, Pre-mission planning consideration visual. My brother had to be asleep. My parent had to be out of their morning walk, which they usually never missed. Part 2 was support course, which were I te- the telephone booth guy from the telephone booth guy from where Weber made those early morning phone calls should have woken up. Weber later told me that he had to shake him vigorously or ill rail loudly into his ear. He always charged him 10 rupees extra early morning rates, he claimed. I should have woke I should I should have woken woken I should have woken up well on time so I could grab the phone on the first ring. Else else there was a chance of my brother waking up. Part three was anticipated theft, which might lead to be an abroad mission, and this included my parents returning early than usual, my brother picking up the telephone extension and listening me calling my calling up whoever was ruled out, as I could not possibly sneak out. My calling up whoever was ruled out, as I could not possibly sneak out to a telephone booth at night. During the day, I had tried twice. I had to call his host. I called. I had to call his hostel phone. His his basement would take his basement would yell out for him. I had hang up and call after 5 minutes. Both times I was told he was not in the room. I gave up. I gave up after that, as it meant I had to sneak, 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 sneak. That's what. Oh, sorry. Once again. Uh, Sneak. I had to sneak, so I had to sneak out of college between my breaks and hurry back in time for the next classes. The marked attendance every hour, not just once in the morning like in a school. On my 18th birthday, I pretended to be asleep and lay still in my bed, listening to my parents leaving out for their work. The metallic clangs of the latch on the gate told me that metallic clang on the latch on the gate told me they had left. I tiptoed quickly into the living room where the extension of the telephone was unplugged it. Then I went back into my parents' room and lifted the phone and listened for a dial tone. It glowed contentedly. Satisfied, I placed it back. Then I double checked so if I had placed it correctly. When you are waiting for a call, time seems to really drag. Yeah. If you have ever waited for a phone call, you know exactly what I am talking about. You don't know what to do. You just wish and hope. And You just miss and hope and will the phone to ring. You want to you want time to fly. I sat next to the phone and waited. After a while I slid down to the floor and continued waiting. Continue waiting. I rang exactly as planned. I grabbed it even before the first ring was completed. Hi, I managed to whisper. Silence. Hello, silence again. Then I could hear the music starting for a few seconds. I had no idea what was going. Then the penny dropped. Craig Chappell's guitar also blended perfectly with the voice of Grace Slick, Grace Slick to make magic that day. As I listened hundreds of miles away over a phone line at 5:45 a.m. in the morning, huddled on the cold floor, the phone glued to my ear in my parents' bedroom. It was love. It was it was a love song which had climbed the Billboard Not 100 charts when it had been released. At the time, I could not identify the band or the artist, but later I would know that it was a song by band Japan's Starship. Later I would also write down the lyrics, memorize them, and listen to them 100 times over. Looking in your eyes, I see a paradise. This world that I have found. It's too good to be true. Standing here beside you, want so much to give you this love in my heart that I am feeling for you. Oh, nice song. L- looking in your li- Looking in your eyes, I see a paradise. This world that I have found, this world that I have found is too good to be true. Standing here beside you, want such a want so much to give you this love in my heart that I'm feeling for you. I am going to keep it take photos. Oh, a guitar solo was played here and then it continued. Looking in your eyes, I see a paradise. This world that I have found is too good to be true. Here, standing here beside you, want so much to give you this love in my heart that I am feeling for you. This love in my heart that I am feeling for you. A guitar solo was played here and then it continued. The whole song. Okay. The whole song took about 4.5 minutes. In between, I tried telling him to stop playing the song and that I get the sentiments behind it, but the continue playing it. will be very in it till the very end. Then he come on the land and said, "Happy birthday, Ankita," and I do mean every word in this lyrics of the oh, Happy birthday, Ankita, and I do mean every word in the lyrics of the song. I could have died right there and I would have been the happiest person on the earth. I did not know what to say. Idiot, I said finally. Why did you waste time playing the whole song? We could have the talk for the too much time. We could have talked for that much time more. Talk now. What do I say? I don't know what to say. A hug, a smile stretched across my face. You could begin my saying. You could begin my saying that a great guy I am. Ravis, you are dumb and cool. How did you manage it? I may I have my way. Those days, uh, those days there were a number MP3s or CDs or iPods for music. We listened to music on a spool's tape in cassettes which were used in tape recorder. He must have hunted for the tape for this song, rewounded the tape to the exact point where it started, got batteries for the tape recorder, and then carried it to the phone booth early in the morning. It was the month of December, and I knew Delhi was freezing at that time. It was amazed to touched by the effort he made. I was amazed that I was amazed and touched by the effort he made. I wanted to talk. I wanted to talk for some more time to him. I did not want. I wanted to talk for some more time to him. I did not want the phone call at him. I did not want the phone call to end. I was feeling elated and on top of the world. Suddenly, all the crazy things that I had read in the books about the people in love with did were beginning to make sense. So were the countless things that loves in movie did. So were the countless little things that lovers in movie did. Okay, sorry. I I was feeling elated and top of the world. Suddenly, all the crazy things that I had read in the books about the people in love did were beginning to make sense. So were the countless little things that lovers in movie did. But the some, but somewhere sense privilege, as I also knew that if my parents come back, it would ruin a perfectly great start to a birthday. That too one which was uh, that too one which was milestone. I love you, baby, he said. The way his voice went all soft and low when he said it gave me goosebumps. He had actually said the words. Hang up now, I said, and take care. Bye. Hang up now, I said, and take care and bye. And take care and bye. And take care. Bye. I hung up before he did. I sat on the floor and hung a huge smile stretched across my face. My heart sank. I felt is is uh, ecstatic. ecstatic. I was still smiling when I heard the metallic clangs on the gate again. I ran into my room, jumped into the bed, covered myself with the blanket, and kept smiling. The word of not, the word of nothing gonna stop us now. Where uh, I ran into my room, jumped into the bed, covered myself with the blanket, and kept smiling the word of nothing's gonna stop us now. We're going around and round in my head. Once you know what direction to take, once you know what direction to take, finding the path to it becomes easy. After experiencing the super high that operation phone call gave both of us, he wanted more of it. Compared to this, waiting for later seemed tame. Seemed tame. Webo said he would call me every Thursday. It was Thursday as I had been born on Thursday, I would be gestured charming. But then I was beginning to find anything he did for me charming. Each Thursday there would be so much to tell him when he called. This was an this was in addition to the letter. I wanted to share so much with him. Every minute detail had to be shared, and he was just as eager to listen. He said he loved the sound of my voice. He said he could picture me sitting on the floor in my parents' bedroom and talking to him. He always begin with hi. He always begin with hi in that low, very tone which I had grown to love, and ended by saying, "Take care, okay, I love you. Take care, okay, I love you." His voice always went low and syrupy, syrupy. I will, all those words that I am stucking, I will go to the Google Translate and rewatch. I love you. His voice always went low and syrupy when he said that. I love it. Last layer. He could have repeated that line a million times, and I would have never tired of hearing it. What amazed both of us was that there was always so much to say. We never ran out of things to talk about. Each call must have lasted for about 6 or 7 minutes, as that was all he could afford, and it somehow was never ever enough. I once mentioned to him that I could send him money for the phone calls. I once mentioned to him that I could send him money for the phone calls, as I felt guilty that he was spending so much. He he wouldn't even hear of it, and we never discussed it again. On one Thursday during yet another operation phone call, my parents come back earlier than expected. I nearly jumped out of my skins, and I heard the main entrance door of the house opening. I must have been so engrossed that I hadn't heard the giveaway metallic glance of the gate. There was no time to dash out. Panicked, hung up, rolled over, and hid under the bed. Hid under the bed. HIDE. Hid under the bed. Second, second later, Seconds later, my dad and mom walked straight into the bed. In the bedroom, my heart was pounding, and I felt like a brl, burglar, burglar, burglar. I will check it. I was desperately thinking us excuse to say if he found me there. The phone rang again. Weber must have presumed that the line had got disconnected. My dad answered it and hung up when there was no reply from the other end. I lay under the bed, it as still as rock. And fortunately for me, neither my parents discovered me nor I discovered me. I lay there for at least 45 minutes till my dad went, and 45 minutes. And here I have also completed 45 minutes for improving my communication skills. Till my dad went, till my dad went out of the room. My mother was in the kitchen. I could tell by the sounds. Later, I crawled out and bolted to safety, feeling exactly like a commando who moves from one trench to another during wartime. I knew Weber would call the next day, and I was back at the phone waiting. He did. Idiot, I said. I nearly died. I had a lie under the bed for 45 minutes. You are fool for the first order. You are full of the first order. They, why they, why the hell did you call back? You should have used your brain. He laughed and laughed so some more. I laughed along with him, delighted to hear the sound of his laughter. How was I to know? How was I to know? He said when the finally stopped the laughing. I nearly jumped out of the phone booth myself when your dad answered. I nearly jumped out of the phone booth myself when your dad answered. I hung up quickly that day. I did not have the stomach to risk another trench operation. I hung up quickly that I did not have stomach to risk another. Oh, in this complete chapter, two guys, one from IT Delhi girl and one is from his boyfriend of schoolmates, uh, both planning to call each other. First, when she went to college, and then he wrote letters to his boyfriend, his friend, after coming his after coming her home. When she comes back to their home, she tried to call that guy. So, they plan too much. First, they try to call on birthday. After that, every Thursday they call to each other, and no, it's like the time, fixed time, when parents go outside and all those things. Then complete planning, then call, then talk, and that blah 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 story till now. So from next day, election section. Actually, this is this whole story of one girl. She went into IT Delhi in once again 1989. Okay. So next day I will read election selection. Election selection. Okay, once again. Next day I will read election selection chapter 3. This part 3. Chapter 3 you can say. This is almost uh, the number of pages. 29 is 12 to 14 pages. I will read tomorrow, and I will try to read some other tongue twister because I am experienced in this one. And this paper comes. This paper is special for me because uh, one one of my friend in IIT Hyderabad, she gave this page for me to write all those things. This one is okay. I will. I'm not going to share all those things. It's okay. Great day for me. My friends, too many friends like Alok Sawan, Imesh Kesri, and Pratyush always my favorite one, and hers. He correct me one time. Right, I written wrong word like tongue T-O-U-N-G. Actually, I don't know. Please, correct. He corrected me. TONGU. Okay, nice. Thanks, Harsh Kumar. And then my friend Satish Kumar also came to meet me, and Siram Bhai. So he told me Soja Bhai, but actually I targeted means I targeted. In next few days, I will try to improve. I will try other ways to improve it communication skill. I will I will complete some grammars and all those things, and then I will try to try with some direct topic like GD works and all those things. Then Vijit Kumar uh, is good friend. He comes with what about geotech? Actually, tomorrow is one two exams. Two exams just meet someone. Meet some two. First one is geotech at 10 a.m. and after that at 2 p.m. there is exam of machine learning. And I think machine learning is good for me. I have good interest in machine learning, and geotech is not as means this one is a hard one, and this one is important for gate and all those things. So actually, one of my professor, Abhijit Anand sir, taught us in our semester two. That time he explained everything in detail. So now I'm reading to some playlist, gate playlist. There I realized, yeah, that time sir is taught us Miss nicely. So this one is for revision for me. Actually, I read this perfectly. I write no notes, and that time I share notes with my friends. So geotech is not as much hard for me as I think, but I will see what happens tomorrow. But numerical part is hard for me because I haven't practiced for any questions right now. But tomorrow in the morning, one of my friends, Shivam Kumar, he told me he will practice three questions that shared by our CR Ayush. Kumar. So I will see, and then all those things. Yeah. Okay, nice. Nice. Okay, bye. Good night.